Since the devastation of Hurricane Sandy on the eastern seaboard on October 29, 2012, the American Red Cross served as first responders to coordinate relief aid. With 125 dead and survivors without power for weeks, the Red Cross began a massive drive to deliver over 9 million meals. In Queens, New York, this center at the Aqueduct served as the distribution point throughout the city.
Okay, no one's exempt from what's happening in New York or any parts of the world or the country. You know, it could happen to anyone. So that's one reason to do it. You know, hey, you know, pay it forward. You know, pay it forward and just help others because it comes around and people will do nice things for yourself. For you, I mean.
One of the hardest hit areas was the Rockaway Peninsula, which was lashed by the surf and 80-mile-per-hour winds. And the southern tip, Breezy Point, suffered extensive fires that were difficult to control during the disaster.
Okay, today we're going to go to Breezy Point once again. We've been doing this every day. Usually I arrive there around 10:30, 11 o'clock and I start feeding. We feed approximately between 160 to 200 clients every day. So we give out hot meals, snacks, water, and blankets. Whoever's in need. I'm originally from Hartford, Connecticut, but my chapter's in Boston, Massachusetts. And the reason why I'm doing this because being a retired firefighter from Hartford, I still had it in me to go to help and to do something to make a difference.
All of the food and supply distribution operations from this location were volunteers who themselves came from around the country to lend a hand.
It makes you feel good about yourself. It makes you feel good as far as what you're doing to help others, and that's really important.
The rebuilding continues after the devastation of the tornado that flattened much of Joplin, Missouri. While Travel Television visited the area, members of the University of Missouri baseball team came to help out homeowners.
Mizzou Athletics helped build homes as part of the Governor's Joplin Challenge.
What the Governor's Challenge is the Governor of the state of Missouri issued a challenge to 7 sports programs in the state. So University of Missouri Athletic Department, St. Louis Blues, St. Louis Cardinals,
change up, got him looking,
St. Louis Rams, Kansas City Chiefs, Kansas City Royals.
So the Royals get the sweep.
And NASCAR.
And we're here today to help finish up the homes that other Mizzou students started. You know, we've had, all the other sports, basketball down here, so baseball wanted to come pay their dues with a couple softball girls and some gymnasts. And we just wanted to help out and, finish up some of these homes.
Look around, you can see there was so much, but now it's barely like anything. And just to see like people drawing together and working as a team and rebuilding a community that needs help, and we want to help them right back.
To me, one of the biggest things is just the total lack of trees. There are no trees.
It's pretty hard to hear about, and I'm just glad that I can come down here and help.
I used to be a city letter carrier, and I worked here in Joplin, and I know this area. I used to deliver mail. Half of my route was destroyed in the tornado, and it was hard to figure out what street am I on, because I look around my first delivery, I'm like, where am I? Where's 2402 Minnesota? The house isn't there. There's no street. There's nothing recognizable as a landmark. So that was like you didn't even know where you were for a while. That was difficult, but all that is improved considerably.
Get it done. We're gonna be moving in. If you're volunteering in Joplin and you're at somebody's home or somebody's business volunteering, you may never see those people again, but those people will never, ever forget your face, ever. It's an amazing experience. It's a special connection.
Being able to go to play baseball at a great school is one of my dreams. You know, not every kid gets their dream, and to be able to give back to the community that I lived in for 18 years really means a lot. And to go back to Mizzou and all the friends I've already made and tell them, you get out here, make an impact on something, change the world.
I go to sleep at night. I wake up in the morning giving God thanks and praying for the health and safety of all the volunteers in Joplin. Without the volunteers from Joplin, St. Louis, nationwide and worldwide, it wouldn't be possible.
It's wonderful. It really makes you feel good to do something for someone else.
It just gives you a great feeling knowing that you're helping out somebody that has been through something pretty traumatic, and it's a pretty cool deal.
I'm gonna start crying again. It's when we move into our house and we sit down for dinner, these are the people that help build our home, that we'll never see them again. And there's just not enough thank yous for that. We're super grateful. They're amazing people.
Travel Television had a chance to talk to Mark Murphy at the New York Times Travel Show.
Hi, it's Mark Murphy, and I'm at the New York Times trade show, the travel show, and it's Friday. And we're going to entertain the travel agents here all day, and then we're expecting about 25,000 consumers over the weekend. Why do people love to travel? Well, you've seen my videos, and it's all about experiences. It's about bragging rights. When we come back, we want to tell people all of the neat things that we've done. So in my travels to 70 plus countries, I've done everything including swimming with elephants to eating worms in the jungles of Ecuador. You haven't seen that episode yet, but it's coming to you. And just imagine hanging out with a shaman in the Amazon rainforest, meeting with his family and his multiple wives, and then understanding that that shaman, who's the doctor for the village, he's the guy that basically treats and heals everyone. So I asked him through the translator, what is it that he had to do to become a shaman? You know what the number one thing he said was? He had to refrain from sex for 6 months. So I guess I'll never become a shaman, or maybe in a few years, I may give it a try. But for now, it was interesting to engage with him. And that tells me about, when I go to places like Ecuador and places around the world, also places in the US, I see areas that could use help from folks who are very much into experiences, but also when they travel, they want to give back. And that's called voluntourism. And if you haven't heard of voluntourism, it's a very, very big and growing segment of travel. And why is that? Because at the end of the day, we all want to travel forward. We want to make connections, and we want to bring something back, but we also want to give back when we're in these places. And I've managed to do that and also work with a number of clients that do it on a regular basis. I'll give you one example. AMA Waterways, they operate cruises in Vietnam. I've traveled on the Mekong with both of their ships. Well, one of the things that they did in Siem Reap was help sponsor a school for children of Cambodia. And that school is a way that they travel forward and also give back. Travel Forward is also the name of my next book. It's about moving forward and using travel as a metaphor to build better relationships, better connections, and to give back wherever you can. So I encourage you to experience voluntourism firsthand, give back where you can, because you'll get so much more in return.
This day is really a celebration of service, of the capacity for people to join hands and work together, and of President and Mrs. Bush, who are really emblematic, I think, of all of those characteristics. And so it's a wonderful opportunity for us to bring together all of the former presidents and to celebrate the capacity for people to make a difference.
I think all of us in this room recognize that the government can't solve all of our problems, but where the government falls short people can roll up their sleeves to find the solution.
And organizations like this, like Generation On, could really show you how to make a difference in your community.
This gathering that we have here is really symbolic of the best of America and the best of our spirit of service and of giving.
You know, Dad's always said any definition of a successful life must involve service to others. And I think his vision and dream is being realized.
I see an event like this, I'm proud to say I'm both American, and I'm proud to say that I'd like to participate in service, and it motivates you to go do more service.
The Points of Light Institute has been amazing, and Generation On for us is a major commitment that we've made. You know, our employees are out doing great things in the communities they work around the world, and this is just such a quintessential program to help kids make a difference in the world.
There's a lot of organizations that talk about service. There's a lot of organizations that try to inspire service, but the Points of Light does it all from inspiring to mobilizing. They really know how to do it. They're a valued partner for all of us in the corporate world.
This is an amazing gathering. 4 United States presidents are here. We're honoring the spirit of volunteering, the leadership of the Points of Light Institute, and the inspiration behind it, President George H.W. Bush.
Service is not something separate from our national priorities. It's fundamental to achieving them. It's one of the ways we come together to meet the challenges of our time. And tonight we celebrate this quintessentially American story.
You might be interested to know that the only thing George Herbert Walker Bush asked me to do is to preserve the points of light.
I'm pleased to be here tonight to celebrate the spirit of volunteerism. I can't think of a better way to promote understanding than what we're doing.
You don't even realize you're a point of light until you see the beam.
If you see a problem, know you can do something about it, no matter how big the problem. We all make a difference.
Because in our great country, there are millions of points of light.
Particularly thank the other presidents that were here. Very grateful to President Carter, President Clinton, President Bush, and everyone else that participated in this.
It was really inspiring to see the videos and the different award winners and just highlighting everyday people. And it was wonderful to have all the presidents in the same house.
What we saw tonight was people from both sides of the aisle coming together and talking about the most important thing that is America, the opportunity for all of us to give back. It's a very inspirational evening.
Mobility International USA is a nonprofit organization founded in 1981 to serve those with cognitive, hearing, learning, mental health, physical, systemic, vision, and other disabilities. People with disabilities do not want to be excluded from opportunities to travel and volunteer in the United States and abroad. This organization advises and provides free tools for people with disabilities, professionals, and organizations on increasing disability inclusion in international study, volunteering, teaching, and other exchange programs. Through the National Clearinghouse on Disability and Exchange, a project sponsored by the U.S. Department of State, MIUSA is bridging people, places, and programs. The Clearinghouse is packed with information for Americans with disabilities going abroad, visitors with disabilities coming to the United States, and inclusion in international exchange programs. Participants write blogs about their experiences, paving the way for others who might feel hesitant or unprepared, or those seeking financial assistance to begin their journey. MIUSA has pioneered inclusive short-term international exchange programs in the United States and abroad since 1981 and has worked with over 2,000 alumni with and without disabilities from over 100 countries since then. Their page has links to a variety of programs, applications, as well as an interactive map and slideshow. Those who might have felt excluded from travel and volunteer opportunities will see things in a different light after surfing through MIUSA's success stories, links, videos, and applications. Take your first virtual step toward becoming part of the global community by visiting their webpage, miusa.org.
Happy anniversary, Travel Television. May you have 5 more wonderful years and many more beyond that.
The Society of Travel Writers is an international organization founded in 1955 to report and encourage the conservation and preservation of travel resources worldwide. Travel Television asked the Society of Television Writers President Lillian Africana about the history of volunteerism.
What we're seeing now in the travel industry is the growth of what we call travel niches. People have done if it's Tuesday, it must be Belgium, and they've gotten on the bus 20 times and seen 20 countries. And now people are looking for more in-depth experiences. So we're seeing the growth of niche travel, culinary travel, spiritual travel, ancestry travel. And the niches can be as tiny as that. And we're also seeing a growth of volunteer tourism. And again, that's for people who want to dig a little deeper into the culture of a time and place. And there are ways, if you're interested in that, there are ways to search it on Google. You can watch Travel Television. But it is a valuable niche, and it's going to grow. And, you know, years and years ago, there was a primitive form of that. Missionaries used to go out and help the people in various areas who needed help. But of course, the price for that was converting to whatever religion was being preached. Nowadays, we have pure-hearted volunteers who go just because they care about the people in a region and they want to help. And that's a form of giving back where the person who goes enriches himself or herself as much as the people that they're giving to, because they get the real life experience of living with real people, not hotel staff or tour guides or people who are there to service the tourist industry.
Travel Television presents Mark Murphy, who travels the streets of Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam.
Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, is a great destination for history, fun, and of course some shopping.
You can never go wrong with the Central Market, but what I prefer is being out here on the street, as long as I don't get run over, checking out some of the local stores.
It's a busy place, but you can always move inside to get away from the traffic. Temple of Literature is the site of Vietnam's first and oldest national university. The beautiful grounds are dedicated to Confucius, and it is one of the city's more popular attractions. Back out on the streets of Hanoi, you might learn something else. Like, how about badminton? I fared pretty well, but I have to credit some of that success to my slight, ever so slight, height advantage.
No visit to Hanoi is complete without a stop at one of their most famous hotels, the Hanoi Hilton.
Don't let the name fool you. This was no five-star accommodation. The Hoa Lo prison housed North Vietnamese prisoners of war during the Vietnam War. What's left of it today houses this museum. You won't see his likeness in these figures, but one of the most famous residents of this prison, John McCain, spent many years here during the Vietnam War. A visit to Hanoi will open your eyes to much of the history, of course the culture, and many of the people you'll interact with across this urban landscape.
Occupy Sandy, the successor movement from Occupy Wall Street, has landed in Staten Island with a plan to help that borough of New York recover. Travel Television visited Group Zero for Occupy Sandy.
Hey there, I'm Goldie with Occupy Sandy here in Staten Island, and you have entered our hub at St. Margaret Mary's Church, where we try to help and provide for people as best we can in the aftermath of Superstorm Sandy. In our free store, where people come in and grab whatever supplies they may need. There's food, there's non-perishable foods, there's some clothing, there's some cleaning supplies, and all kinds of stuff like that. We also have dispatch teams that send work crews out into the field to help out with people's houses, be it demolition or getting the mold out of the house, probably entering into some rebuild phase too, and we also do whatever rapid repairs fails to do. We're basically filling the large gaps left open by government response and other organizations' response. So yeah, Occupy Sandy is basically a derivative of Occupy Wall Street. Many of us who organized last year already know how to not only organize ourselves but to raise money and to communicate online and put up websites and organize people for direct actions. And this is just another direct action, but instead of fighting banks, we're actually helping poor people, which is actually very, very similar. It's the same side of the equation. And it's turns out to be equally as radical. I mean, because we have a lot of things here that we're giving away for free, including feeding people right in the aftermath of the storm, which is not only done by Occupy Sandy, but by just community members. So where the government and the other organizations just seem to not show up in the few days in the aftermath of the storm, people did, and the corners here in Staten Island and the Lower East Side of Manhattan and the Rockaways were filled with community hubs, just by people for people. It was really a beautiful thing, and I guess that's the way it is, and that's the way it's. That's the only people you can really depend on are your own community. So we're just happy to be a part of that here. But if you want to travel, come to New York. It's beautiful, and you can help out a lot of people that have been devastated here. The best way to volunteer is in our organization is go to occupysandy.org and fill out a volunteer form. You can pick what you want to do, when you want to do it, and where you want to do it. And you can see all of our hubs listed there. We work in the Rockaways, Sheepshead Bay, Coney Island, and Staten Island, Red Hook. So yeah, occupysandy.org.
Unfortunately, like Katrina herself,
There was an uninvited guest, Isaac, who decided to crash the events that were planned for that week.
Okay, these are the tombstones that were in the street here from this cemetery.
Even though this family lost their homes to Hurricane Isaac, they were tireless volunteers in their community.
We wanted to rally together. Gina, we met you because you came and volunteered with us, and we had no idea that you were not just a normal volunteer until we started asking questions. And then I heard Lauren's the one who suggested, Mom, let's not lick our wounds. Let's get the focus on somebody else. And Lauren, that says so much about you too. And so then we got to meet Danny and then hear your story and just even how you rescue people. And, you know, I know that you guys don't put it as anything special because you're just doing what you do because you love people and it's your neighbors. But to be able to save like over a dozen people's lives is awesome. And I know you guys as a family are proud of them. And we have some incredible volunteers. Volunteers that go with us on a regular basis, but then also spontaneous volunteers who are just good people from all across America who want to come help. And so to have the extra hands to help put with our skill helps us pull off some very incredible projects. And this was one of them, and it's a family's life that's going to be changed forever. But if we can create one oasis of hope, many times we find out that's a chain reaction. So it becomes a catalyst for our community. And it's not just our organization, it's organizations all over the country with volunteers who love people and want to make a difference.
I'm just happy to be here. The greatest part about it is to work with other men and women that have given their heart to our brothers and sisters in need.